Alright, so now we're going to look at female reproductive anatomy, and for orientation purposes we're going to look at some of the bony structures and look at some of the female external genitalia, and then we'll look at internal parts. We're going to start here with the pubis. Okay, so this is part of the coxal bone, and then the pubic symphysis would be right here in this location. Back here we have the sacrum, leading to the coccyx, the tailbone, sigmoid colon, rectum, and then anus, labia minora, labia majora, ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, and that's resting atop the urinary bladder. We can see the ureter coming into the urinary bladder. And then here we have the vaginal wall. Up here for blood vessels, abdominal aorta, splitting into common iliac arteries. So this one's been cut, so follow the common iliac artery. You can see internal iliac artery and external iliac artery. Okay, so here and here, internal iliac, external iliac arteries. Inferior vena cava splits into common iliac veins. Here the common iliac vein's been cut. So common iliac vein following this way, and then eventually will become the external iliac vein. Anchoring the uterus in place, we have something called the round ligament. And then holding the ovary, we have the ovarian ligament. So that's going from the ovary over to the uterus, the ovarian ligament. And then going up this way, we have something called the suspensory ligament. And you'll find in the suspensory ligament the ovarian artery and the ovarian vein. So suspensory ligament, ovarian ligament, round ligament. Open this up. Once again, orientation. We're now looking on the inside here, but we can see the ureter coming down, so that's leading to the urinary bladder. So this is ureter coming from the kidney down to the urinary bladder. We're looking at sigmoid colon here, rectum, anal canals, anus. This is the vaginal canal. So this structure is the vagina. Uterus. This is uterine cavity. And then here's where the pubic symphysis would lie. This structure here, this is the clitoris. And again we see labia minora and labia majora. Exiting from the urinary bladder, the urethra. This is urethra. So again, for orientation, urethra, vagina, anus. Looking at the uterus, okay, this lower portion here is called the cervix. The middle section is the body, and the upper rounded portion is the fundus. If you look in deep at the fallopian tube, you'll notice that over the ovary we have a portion called the fimbriae. And then we have the, just basically this section here, which is the isthmus of the fallopian tube. If we go back to the uterus, we have the endometrium, which is the inner lining. We have the musculature, which is the myometrium, and then the outer portion, which is the perimetrium. And then one last structure that you can see next to the cervix here, you can see how there's this sort of space that's created here and here around the cervix. These are referred to as the fornix structures.